Order. Urgent question. John McDonnell.
Speaker, to ask the Chancellor of the Exchequer to make a statement on the HMRC's published impact analysis of introducing a new customs legislation and amendments.
Minister Jesse Norman.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Mr. Speaker, and I'm delighted to respond to the right honourable gentleman's question. The government is devoting huge energies, as the House will know, to Brexit preparations. So the Prime Minister has stated the government's preference is to leave with a deal, but if necessary, without a deal, since it is so vital that we get Brexit done and move the country forward. The last thing businesses need is more uncertainty and delay. A key part of those preparations, Mr. Speaker, is to ensure that there is a functioning customs, VAT and excise regime on exit. To put the legal underpinnings in place, HMRC have laid 56 regulations to date following last year's Taxation Cross-Border Trade Act. To support the latest bunch of statutory instruments debated by this House yesterday, the government published a third edition of the overarching impact assessment of the movement of goods if the UK leaves the EU without a deal. This updates and builds on previous versions of the impact assessment which were published in December 2018 and February 2018. The new version provides updates to cover the September 2019 regulations, including transitional and other arrangements for safety and security declaration requirements for the period after exit, further temporary customs and excise easements to extend the transitional arrangements after exit, and further VAT data gathering powers to specify the type of information that be collected from postal officers, operators, and finally various technical amendments and transitional provisions. As I've said, our preference is very much for a deal, but the government continues to make sure that this country is ready for no deal, and the impacts on businesses are minimised as far as possible. That is why we have introduced a series of easements for traders moving goods in the UK to take effect in a no-deal scenario. These easements, for example, are planned to simplify radically import processes for EU goods, mean that the costs identified in this impact assessment will be mitigated for UK importers. Crucially, the government's also working to boost the long-term potential of the economy so that the United Kingdom can seize the opportunity that exists for us outside the EU.